Psalm chapter 77. This psalm is titled to the chief musician, to Jeduthun. It is a psalm of Asaph. The chief musician is a leader of choirs or musicians in David's time, such as Heman, the singer, or Asaph. Asaph was the great singer and musician of David and Solomon's era. 2 Chronicles 29:30 also adds that Asaph was a prophet in his musical compositions. When we read the verses from 1 to 3, it says, I cried out to God for help. I cried out to God to hear me. When I was in distress, I sought the Lord. At night I stretched out untiring hands, and I would not be comforted. I remembered you, God, and I groaned. I meditated, and my spirit grew faint. We see that the psalmist is in a very distressed state here. He is anguished over God's inaction when he seemingly fails to respond to unceasing and urgent prayers. The psalmist says in verse 4, You kept my eyes from closing. I was too troubled to speak. God's failure to act now is so troubling that the psalmist cannot sleep, and words fail. Sometimes, though words fail, troubled thoughts will not go away. We see that the psalmist is in a very personal, distressed phase of his life, and he has done it all. He has sought the Lord, he cried out to him, he has remembered him, meditated on his word until his spirit grew faint. He stretched out untiring hands all night, but yet he would not be comforted. Even in our lives, there are times when we are in so much of distress and we have tried it all, we've done it all, we've sought him, we have prayed unceasingly, we have stretched out our untiring hands, but yet God remains inactive and he fails to respond to our unceasing and urgent prayers. Now we see from verses 5 to 9 that the psalmist starts questioning God. He is now questioning the character of God. He really wants to know if he's faithful as he said he would be, and if his love is unfailing as he said it would be. He said, Has God forgotten to be merciful, as he in anger withheld his compassion? There are times in our lives when we start questioning God. This happens when our waiting period is long and we just are tired of waiting for a miracle. We are in a state where we don't know if what we knew about God is true or not. We see that the psalmist is in that kind of a situation. However, from verses 10 to 12, we see that a drastic change happens when the psalmist decides to do something. Then I thought, to this I will appeal, the years when the Most High stretched out his right hand. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. I will consider all your works and meditate on all your mighty deeds. Faith's decision to look beyond the present troubles and God's bewildering inactivity. The psalmist, he drew hope from God's saving acts of old. There is something that we can learn from here when we are stuck in this situation. Meditate on how he has been faithful to his people then and also faithful to us now. For a second, if we turn back and look at our lives, if not for God, we wouldn't have made this far. Therefore, if you are in that place today, just as the psalmist was, I would encourage you to turn back and look at how faithful God has been to you personally, and also meditate on the saving acts of God in the lives of the Israelites. And may it give you the faith that if God was able to do it then, he will definitely do it today in your life too. Good morning. Have a nice day.